Hey, it's the Good Noise podcast. We're here with Nick and Mari from Love Rose. We're gonna ask them some questions today. I'm gonna start. What inspired you guys to start the band?
Well, originally, sorry, like being over you. Originally, originally, Love Rose was kind of it was just me. It was just a solo project. Like, I wanted to continue, like, I guess, sharing the spotlight. I'd been in two bands that were successful and yet unsuccessful at the same time because I got kicked out of the first one, and the second one I left voluntarily. So I'd already had my music kind of as like a thing, but I'd always wanted to do more with it. And Nick and I work really well as far as music goes, so that was like, he was the first person I came to in regards to like who was going to be joining me first.
Yeah.
And then I was asking around on Facebook, like, you know, to see if anybody else wanted to be part of, like, you know, just this collective that I was trying to make. And Nicole was one of the first people that responded to my Facebook post.
Okay.
So right off the bat, like, when I first performed with the two of them together, it was like, it felt right, like, and the vibe that we all had, like, I feel like matched, and we all kind of want the same thing. I feel like, I mean, Nick, you obviously you can attest to this, like, you definitely like.
Yeah, no, it was like really cool being able to like that first, like, I didn't join the band until last summer.
Okay.
And it was fun because it was kind of like my vacation band.
Yeah.
I got to like sit on a cajon and just slap. And that was, yeah, I need to buy a drum set. I'm working on that. But yeah, no, I think what happened was that we had like one of our friends, who's another guy in the New Jersey scene. He was having a graduation party. He was having a bunch of people from like a bunch of different bands that we're all friends with over like his house. We're all partying. We had like a whole band set up. So
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, and Marissa and I jammed a little bit, and it was like the first time I got to like sit down at like a real drum set in a while and just play, and it was awesome. And I think Marissa was like, I think we were just playing some covers. Like,
yeah, we were jamming out. We were playing a bunch of covers, and like, I don't know why, like, when, like, I felt like just really, like, it was really fun, like, being able to jam with Nick and, like, banter and, like, just have a lot of fun with it. And, like, I brought my ukulele for the fact that, like, everybody was playing covers, and, like, I didn't realize it at first, and I had left the ukulele at home, which luckily I was, like, 20 minutes away, so I, like, grabbed it and came back to the party.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to play some covers because it was a lot of fun, and I could easily join in on that shit.
Yeah.
And then when Nick and I played, it was like, I felt like definitely like this was something that this could work. Like, if you were to be a part of the band, or like what I was trying to do.
You want me to fill in for you? And then I started doing that, and then I was just like, let me play drums.
And then he became a permanent member, and I made an official post on the Instagram that Nick and Nikki were officially permanent members at that point, and it all kind of came together, honestly. I feel like now that the band is a band, it feels like there's more for me to work with. It feels like there's more, you know, there's more collectivity. It's hard to be a solo project.
I get that, yeah.
Like, it's, you know, it's not an easy feat. Like, you have to do a lot. You have to, you know, be your own manager, and it's really hard. But I wanted to share that because I knew that there were people who, you know, were as like-minded as I was, that were willing to, willing to put up with my shenanigans and my procrastination. And, you know, like, but we're also able to, you know, handle, you know, other people and handle, like, I guess just like the energy of the room. So I definitely, like, I love our lineup. We're all great friends, and it works.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow, that's good luck. It's good. So, what is your writing process like?
Well, lately, I mean, Nick and I had, spoiler alert, we actually wrote 2 awesome new songs, which I feel like are going to be really great.
We pretty much finished. We had like this idea for an EP that we finished writing right before everything with the virus got really bad.
Yeah.
So that way, whenever the governor of New Jersey says it's all right, we can just start recording. think our plan is that we were talking about this earlier. This is what Drive Kid is also going to attempt to do, because what's probably going to happen is that like we're probably going to be allowed to like start gathering in like small groups, able to actually have shows again.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and like just like use that time gap to like start recording new music, and then just take our time with that and get that all done, and then hopefully by the time we're all done with that, it'll be safe to play shows again, and then we can promote it and release it and just dig the shit out of that release. So that's what we're hoping to do. That's what we're hoping to do with the.
Okay.
We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, it's a solid plan. I
It's really
mean,
amazing if we could start getting music out soon, because I have an EP already as Love Rose, but that's only me. Like, it's only me just playing ukulele with some fancy little keynotes in the background, and
And we only play one of those songs. We only play like one of the songs off that EP, so pretty much everything else is like new. But we are going to re-record that one song.
yeah. The song that we're talking about is the third track off of the solo EP, On My Way. On My Way was written as like a kind of like homage to like my experience with having to be away from everybody for so long, because before all of this, and before I was, kind of here and, just staying here permanently, I was back and forth between here and and Florida. I went out to New Jersey because my parents were snowbirding back and forth between here and New Jersey, and I wanted this. It was like kind of like my defiance as to having to stay so far away from everybody for such a long time. I was saying, I'm on my way back to where I want to be, and there's nothing you can do to stop me about that. That's my own. I want to be where I am on my own terms. And I think it's like a good addition to basically what the entire album kind of is. It's like the collective feelings of like your inner thoughts, your everyday anxieties, and like just the feeling of the world closing in around you, but fighting your way back out of it in a sense.
So what's the first song that you guys wrote together?
The first one we wrote together, actually. Do you want to answer this one, Nick, or you don't want me to?
I mean, I think I know. Wait, it was probably one of the new ones, right? It was
one of the new ones.
You have a song called "Head in the Clouds" that I don't know. We'll probably be dropping when we record it, whenever that'll be.
Yeah.
But that was like, I think, the first time we got in a room together and tried to write. It's kind of weird. Like, even though I play drums in this band, so far I've written like a bunch of guitar parts. I'm going to have to teach Nikki or something, but it's still fun to be able to have that.
Yeah. Well, we're all kind of figuring it out like as we go along. Like, I am relearning how to play piano through all this because I'm using a keyboard and a synthesizer. I played guitar at like our first first full electric set, and it was definitely an interesting experience. And it's something that like we're kind of all learning to do. So
it's cool.
You like that?
So, sorry. So, what does Love Rose mean to you guys? The name.
Well, originally when it was just me, I was just Mari Rose. Rose was a middle name that I'd always wanted, and my mom and dad, like, this is like a thing about me that I don't mind saying, that like my mom and dad never gave me a middle name when I was born for the first time. I was just simply Marissa Spelly, but I loved the middle name Rose, and I thought it was really pretty, and I went by Mari Rose Music for a while, and then I like this band, the Dead Deads, and they have like a system where they like name your fans, like such and such dead. So I was Lady Dead, and Lady Rose became a thing that I wanted to do, and I wanted to brand myself as Lady Rose. But then I found out when I was uploading my first EP on DistroKid that Lady Rose was already taken. I was like, oh shit, I don't want to step on copyright brand. I don't want to do that. So I was like, well, what would be cool? Because I love the idea of like I loved the idea of like, something rose, and I was like, oh, well, wait a minute, like, what if I want to, like, I thought for like the first new album that I wanted it to say love, comma, rose, like as like an homage to that.
Yeah.
Then I was like, well, wait a minute, why don't I just make that the band name?
Yeah.
Like, have it be like, it's a name, but it's also a sign off to a letter. Like, I thought that was something like not a lot of people maybe would have heard of.
Yeah.
And that then became my thing, and then it expanded, and then the rest is history.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Wow.
I like that.
That's already like a cooler origin than like half the names that we've gotten.
Yeah, most of them are like, there is no meaning, and then we're like, can you make up a fake one? And they're like, well, we don't have one.
And I will admit, I also was inspired by Drive Kid a little bit. I liked the comma. I
Yeah.
thought it was
Yeah.
funny. And
I think it's.
I liked
Now
that.
I'm
It was
in
definitely
two bands
interesting.
that have commas in the band name.
I think it's ironic that both the bands you're in have the comma in the name.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like the band name was already settled like before I was a part of it.
Yeah.
But I like for like what the band name means to me, I didn't really think much of it at first. I thought it was a cool name, but I guess as we started writing more songs, like Rose to me is kind of like a character. Maybe it's a character that Marissa plays, or it's an extension of her, or whatever, I don't know, whatever. We'll flesh that out later. But like, I don't know, like the songs are for me. It kind of seems like pages out of like this person's diary or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
really
cool.
what the
I
album
really like
feels
that.
It's
honestly,
like Rose's thoughts and feelings, and she has a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really what it feels like to me, is like just the pages from like a journal or like a story or like just a diary, like you were saying, Nick, like just kind of like from your own personal experiences. And Love Rose originally was, obviously it was just me, so this was really all my experiences being put into music. Like Drown It Out was a one of our kind of new-ish songs, like one of our official original songs. Drown It Out was more of like, I want my voice to be heard, like this is like me, getting my message out to the world, getting my music out, getting my like voice, out to the world. Rich Blood, which is another kind of newish one that we all worked on before, it was a solo one, and then it became an official one. That one actually was about my personal home experience. Like, I can proudly say that I've suffered white privilege, and I was very ignorant to the fact that, like, there's so many people out there in the world, like, there are people who are homeless, there's people who are, in poverty. Like, I had my life handed to me on a silver platter, and I am now like very much against that, because I came from like such a like middle class hardworking family who proudly flaunted their wealth, but they were also underlying were like transphobic, homophobic, like very religious, like very like and I found myself becoming more of a liberal person, like, and I kind of bring politics into it because my family ended up being like very like right wing on the side of things, and I found myself very further left, from all of their policies and all of like what they believe. And Rich Blood, I didn't want to have to feel like I was coming from, so like where I had so much more than other people, but I wanted to have less, because I feel like less is more than enough for me sometimes. Like I can do what I want, I can have what I want, but at the end of the day, we're all people. Like I don't want to have to feel like I'm coming from privilege where other people haven't had as great of a life as me. And I happy with that.
Yeah. That's cool. So what bands have you guys been listening to while you're stuck at home?
Y'all gotta know what I've been listening to.
And
I haven't stopped tweeting about it.
Yeah.
I know. Enter Shikari just released their new record, and it's amazing. And hold on,
Fucking slaps. It's amazing. We're actually thinking of covering one of the newer ones at some point, because
got the vinyl.
Hotel is a solid pop. Nice.
At the vinyl.
The variant is absolutely sick. Like, okay, I was supposed to go see them because they're gonna have a record release show. Work canceled, and I got my money refunded. So
Oh my god.
Oh, that's
I
hot.
got a pre-order bottle, and it came with this baby, and it came with like a pen and a shirt and like a little friend with me. It's like, and by them, it's sick. And this album is like, actually amazing. I just wrote like a whole review on it, newspaper, and I'm really excited for that to be out. So.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, Enter Shikari slaps without a doubt. Like I downloaded the entire pre-order of the new album, and I've been listening to it nonstop. Great Unknown, Dreamers Hotel, Tina, they're all fucking favorites. And The King, I can play it on ukulele.
You guys sound like this album is like, if you like 21 Pilots, you'll really like this Enter Shikari.
Glory.
Oh, absolutely.
Glory.
It's like really like heavy on the electronics and the pop, which is like something that Shikari has always done. But like, I don't know, this is like, it got really weird on the record in like a really cool way.
Yeah. Yo, can you like send me a link to that after this? Because
absolutely.
Yeah, I would definitely like to check that out. So, are you guys working on any projects while you're stuck at home?
As far as projects go, I kind of have nothing. I mean, music-wise, I haven't written anything in a hot minute, but everything else-wise, I've been working on, like, at lickety-split because I have work, you know, I've been working from home, I have been working on costume making outside of music. I am a cosplayer, I love cosplaying. It is a passion of mine. I've always wanted to make costumes, and I started, like, you know, getting materials and stuff. I'm working on a lot. Like, I'm working on writing. I'm doing a lot of, like, you know, like fiction writing, like story writing, but also like trying to lean back into songwriting as well. Like, I've just been keeping busy for the most part.
Yeah.
For me, my creativity kind of comes in waves. Like, I'll be having like probably like a week where I'm just like writing songs, I'm working on Drive Kid demos, or doing whatever. But then we have weeks where I'm just like, oh, I just want to learn songs. I want to play guitar. I don't feel like recording. I don't feel like whatever. I just want to sit in bed and watch Disney Plus.
Yeah.
That's just kind of that's just kind of that's just how it's been lately. But I've written like some songs that I think are really good. That I think I might want to release a solo music at some point, or maybe it'll be on a future Drive Kid release. I don't know. It's always difficult, kind of like writing music between album cycles, because at this point, the next Drive Kid is like we kind of have every song that we want to be on there in the order that we want to be. Like anything else that I write now, it's like I either shelve it for like another record or another EP, or I try and get some equipment myself and release it on my own time under a different name. So and I'm very indecisive, so I'm probably gonna end up not touching it.
Yeah. That's fair.
So outside of working on music, what else have you guys been doing to stay busy?
Take a lot of walks. I've been watching Star Wars Rebels lately.
Okay.
It's good to get exercise, especially during times like this.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, what is your favorite part?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
I was gonna say, I really don't do much. I'm pretty lazy.
Oh, I feel that.
I felt that, yeah.
If it wasn't for podcasts, I wouldn't be doing anything, so.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite part of being a part of the music industry?
Definitely just, I think, like, in general, being in a band. Like, I think I've always wanted to be in a band, like, ever since I was a kid. My dad, in particular, he had a guitar. Like, he used to be in a band when he was in his teens. And, like, my grandfather, used to write for some very big people. Like, and, if I may humble brag for a minute, do you know who Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons is?
Yeah.
I don't.
I do.
That's
a Shane does.
Yeah,
Shane
I do.
does.
You know that song, I love you, baby.
Oh wait, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, so my grandfather actually wrote their song Tell It to the Rain.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
So I have like a musical gene. Like I feel like it's just always been part of my life. Like music has always been like a part of me and a part of who I am, and like my dad would always take out his guitar and we'd sit around the table, sing the Beatles and the Beach Boys and the Rolling Stones and Elvis and all those guys, and we would just have a good time. And I always loved singing, and I learned that my dad was in a band when I was like 12 years old, and I was like, I want to be in a band one day. That would be so cool.
Oh.
And, that was just always kind of something I wanted to do, and I always wanted to be on the stage. And I went to a performing arts high school for a good 4 years, and I was able to kind of bring that side out of me, and it was just always fun, and I really loved doing that. And I even am getting a part of this tattoo. There's going to be a little music note flag on it symbolizing my love for music. This is the heart right now.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
For me, I'm not so sure I'd like equate like the local music scene and like the music industry as being like the same thing. I definitely think they're like very related, but it's like they're kind of like different vibes.
Yeah.
Because like both the music industry and like local music scene, they can be like very like they can have like a lot of like very real people. There can be like a lot of real connection between music and fans and industry personnel, but they can also be like super performative. Like you put on a face to like publicly interact with people.
Yeah.
I try and do that less. I just try and be like as authentic as I can, especially in the band I'm in. But I've also kind of worked on the more business-oriented side of the music industry. I was a publicity intern at a public relations firm that works with bands to like promote their music and stuff like that. So it was like a lot of me emailing music outlets, being like, "Hey, like, check out this band. I'm Nick from Muddy Pop PR, yada yada." I have to give them like a whole shtick to like get them to like pick our client and feature them on our website, or I got like, reach out to local bands, being like, "Hey, what's up? I'm from your firm. We wanna, we think your music's good. We want to do a PR campaign." Kind of like, it is still like a business, but I always try and like be as authentic as I can, even in that. I think that's just like really important, because music at the end of the day is something we all care about. And I don't know. I don't like how society capitalizes on people's joy sometimes.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like that. But with my own relationship with music in general, I've just always really loved music ever since I was really small. I think my first introductions to like music on like an intimate level was my mom. My mom had a friend, and my mom and her friend's brother was kind of little known indie band called Tilly and the Wall, and she had the records on like CDs, and it was like this really nice little like indie pop band from like Nebraska, and I would listen to their music. I was like 6 or 7. They were singing about like, I don't know, being gay and doing drugs. I don't know. I was a little kid, but I loved the songs. They were so catchy. And not long after that, my mom introduced me to. I was like 7. It was like that year. My mom took me to see the Killers. They were touring for Hot Fuss. That record just came out. I was obsessed with that record. I was obsessed with the Arctic Monkeys' first record. And it really kind of grew from there. My mom was always an avid concert goer. She was a really ballsy kid. She'd be like 14, 15, 16, 17, whatever. Like going into New York City, like on her own, like or like with a friend on the subway, like Madison Square Garden to see like Aerosmith or whatever big metal band was around at the time. My dad is the reason I played guitar in the first place. I didn't want to do like any extracurriculars when I was a kid. I didn't like sports. I tried everything. I didn't like anything. My dad was like, "You have to do something. You can't just sit at home and watch cartoons all day." And I was like, "Why not?" So, I viewed learning an instrument as like more home. But,
I feel that. Part of the reason I play ukulele is because of my dad too. Because I wanted to learn guitar, but I was like having a hard time with it because my fingers are so short. I can't reach over the damn fret.
It was difficult. It was frustrating. Learning guitar can be really difficult. But I guess I really kind of grew up with it. I was like 8 when I started playing guitar, and I think by the time I was 11 or 12, I really started getting into it on my own. That's when I found bands like Green Day and then later Blink. And that's just kind of how that took off. My dad did play in a band in high school himself, and he has this like good bass, and he has like this beautiful Rickenbacker bass that I think is discontinued now, but it still works. It sounds amazing. He doesn't play with anymore, but no, I definitely don't have the musical tendency that Marissa has. I'm kind of the anomaly.
So what's your favorite part of making the music, like, as a whole, like putting it together?
I guess as a whole, I guess the lyrics are like my favorite part, because it's always like it's easy for me to draw from personal experience when it comes to like writing music and being able to kind of like write about what I love. Like my first original 3 songs were about Don't Shoot the Messenger was about standing up for what you believe in. On My Way was my my stamp of personal defiance, and Not So Far Apart was about my current relationship with my boyfriend, because all that time that like I was snowbirding between Florida and New Jersey, like I had to be away from the guy I wanted to be with for like a good half of our relationship. Like we've been in a relationship, it'll be like 5 years now in November, and
Congrats.
literally 6 months at a time I could not do it. And like I was able to write a song that like, because he was so patient and he was like so ready to like be with me no matter what the the case was, and I was so grateful for that like I drew on that as like an experience of like if he's willing to say that like I'm gonna be there for you, then who's to say that I can't say the same. And Not So Far Apart was drawn from that, because even though we were thousands of miles away, we were literally right in the same like place at the same time.
Oh, that's
His
awesome.
was contacting me, he was always and it was easy for us to kind of maintain the relationship even though we were so far apart, and we really were not so far apart at the same time.
Yes.
That's how much we loved each other. And I think that was like it's always like a good, I feel like it's always like a good way of like being able to channel any frustrations that I may have, or any like any moods that I may be going through, or like just anything in life. It's always great for me to be able to draw on personal experience from that. So
for me, the lyrics are also a big part of it. It's definitely a big outlet for me, and listening to bands like Enter Shikari has really kind of boosted, I guess, not so like even journalism major. It's just like it's allowed me to really kind of like develop my like lyrical style, and just like use of like metaphors and just really use your words. That's something I really like, and that really helps me emotionally. But I would say, but like at the same time, like writing lyrics is something that I can do pretty much whenever I want, even if I don't have the creative inspiration at the moment. I'm always able to like take out my phone and write something in a note.
Enough of it, you're good at it, like really good at it.
But like music as a process for me, my favorite thing about it is definitely the recording process. And even though like being in the studio and like doing take after take after take is annoying as all hell, it's like taking it's like taking like a bass drum kick and like hitting it against your crotch for like 4 months straight.
Oh my god.
And how it was with Little Saint Nick.
Oh god, I played everything. I literally played everything.
We ended up playing everything. We released our first full band track on Christmas last year. Which
we heard it actually.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was such a fun cover to do too, because like the Beach Boys again is like a big part of my childhood, so it's like, hey, why not, right?
Yeah.
But
it made me miss Christmas. Continue.
Sorry, but with I was saying with the recording process, it's a pain, but like there are like these great little nuggets of just like these amazing moments. Like I call them aha moments, or when like you get a really good take, or when something, or like that moment when a track just comes together, and you're just like, oh my god, this is like amazing.
Exactly.
Like you just with all your friends and just like something just like what if we do this? Or like, oh my god, this would sound great. It's definitely the collaborative aspect that like I like working with my friends and just like having a moment that like we're all connected. Because like then we're later down the line we're like performing that music. It's always we're kind of like reliving that moment.
Yeah.
I feel like it felt better.
Person, so like I just really enjoy that.
I feel like it felt like better as like a collaborative effort when we had that aha moment during Little Saint Nick recording, because my cousin Dave, who he runs DCNJ Productions, and he recorded us, and it was like obviously like it took a long time. Like we did not have a lot of time to be able to like get together and record because it was a freaking hour drive up, like to be able to get to the studio. But
it was like Marissa would have to drive an hour to my house, and then I'd drive like an hour up to the studio, and the studio is in this little tiny cramped basement in Kearney, New Jersey, and it was like
it's very professional grade though. That much I will say. Like all of his equipment is like intense.
No, but Dave's a really nice guy. And he got a really good sound for what we were doing, and he was kind of. I remember those backup vocals that you hear me trying to do. It was recorded in his vocal booth, which is also a
like right next door to the first time I recorded with Dave, it was still when I was doing my solo stuff, and when I had that, as you put it, Nick, that aha moment, that like eureka moment where I like felt like the song was coming together. It was only just me and Dave, and like it felt good. But then when like Little Saint Nick was recorded, and like it was all of us being able to do it, get it out there and get the shit done. It just felt so good to be able to share in the feeling with everybody of that like aha moment in itself.
Yeah.
So it was like the best part of it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, that's awesome. So what artists would you say are your biggest inspirations when you're writing music for Love Rose?
Without a doubt, I draw on a lot of inspiration. Like, I used to draw on a lot of inspiration from indie artists like Dodie, Mindy Harvey, Rebecca Sugar. Like, I loved, like, hearing, like, that ukulele and, like, hear it. And, like, even, like, Melissa Etheridge, when I was recording with CJ Rare, who used to be in this band Cardinals, and he did, like, he recorded for his own EP, and he, does a lot of, like, acoustic recordings and stuff, and he helps Chris from Highwind out a whole lot. And
that's my cousin.
Yeah, that's his cousin.
Yeah. And oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris is my cousin. Yeah.
But yeah, no, the CJ, he helped me out with the first EP, and it was like, shit, I lost my train of thought.
That's my bad.
What was I saying? Oh shit.
I forgot what you were saying too. I just found out.
Yeah.
Oh right. Fucking inspiration. Yeah. No. I CJ had said to me that like my Not So Far Apart with like the little bit of maraca in the background and the little inklings of piano music very much reminded him of like Melissa Etheridge, or was it Melissa Etheridge, or was it like it was someone with a similar name, but I think it was Melissa Etheridge. But he said it reminded him very much of that, and like I kind of drew on that inspiration for that. Like I tried to be as indie as possible when it was just me, but I guess it kind of evolved. Like now I feel like honestly Enter Shikari because I love like that like electro sort of synthy punk sort of mixture, and I love like the kind of mishmash of genres that were kind of pulling everything from. Like I wanted to go more pop punk, but then I also wanted to add like keyboard and synth and spooky noises, and I wanted to do so much of it that we kind of settled on like avant punk, which I guess is what we're labeling it as, very like pop punk, but has like a lot of synth and a lot of like, like deeper, like growly sounds and stuff, and trying to, put it all together and see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. I mean, when I'm writing the Love Rose, I'm definitely drawing on like, I wouldn't say I'm drawing on like specific themes, but definitely just a lot more like kind of like that pop influenced indie and kind of like 2003-esque acoustic sounding pop, whatever you want to call it. And I'm also getting like I've also been just like in general, I've personally been getting really into like I'm putting jazz chords into like songs, just like stuff like that. It just like get like a more like kind of ethereal, sometimes like frog almost kind of sound, and I'm kind of using chords like that on like one new song that we have called "Drop of a Hat," but it has like a very, but then the chorus it switches and it has like this very kind of like Taking Back Sunday kind of like vibe to it from like the 2000s sort of thing. And I'm really excited for people to hear that song. But if I had to like, if I was gonna tell anyone, if somebody asked me like, what like band you can hear yourself to, I hear a lot of Thunderbolt. Like not a band. And they kind of like they're similar stuff in ways, but I mean like there's obviously not too much overlap. They have like a lot of ukulele driven songs. A lot of like, that mid 2000s kind of indie pop acoustic vibes in there that I really dig, and I do hear maybe not direct influence. I hear a lot of overlap with them. They're a really good band. You should check them out.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Definitely will.
So what was your first concert, and do you think going to see live music as a whole has influenced?
Yeah, you cut
I cut out?
You cut out.
Fantastic. L. Let me start again. So what was your first concert, and do you think going to see live music as a whole has influenced how you present yourself on stage?
Do you think live music has influenced how you present yourself?
Yeah, I swear to fucking God.
Oh my god, first concert. The Jonas Brothers.
Oh my god, we were just talking about that today.
Were we?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. It's been a long
today.
fucking day. But
my first concert, I really don't remember what my first concert was, but I was definitely really young. My parents took me to like a whole bunch of concerts when I was a kid. I'd say probably like my first like rock concert. It was either I was definitely like 7 or 8, and it was either that other show I talked about when they just released Hot Plus.
yeah.
I was at Madison Square Garden, and I vividly remember it because I had a loose tooth as a kid, and I came out during Mr. Brightside.
During Mr. Brightside, how iconic.
Brightside.
I don't remember, but I was just like sitting there playing with it, and I was like, and it was my first concert. It was either that show, or it was Aerosmith when I was around the same age. Parents dragged me up to Long Island to go see that with them, or it was Van Halen. That like it was like one of those 2 shows that was probably all within like this year or 2 years span. I don't remember which one.
Yeah, my first one was the Jonas Brothers. I think I was just getting into 8th grade, and I was with my friend at the time, Chloe, and it was at the Wachovia Center in Pennsylvania, and poor me, I didn't bring earplugs and didn't think about that, so it was loud as fuck, and there's some screaming teeny boppers, and I mean, but it was definitely a fun show. Like, I mean, I just remember like being. It was one of those like arena shows where like the stage was like right in the center, and like everybody was, like entirely around, and like it was so much fun to like just see them in person, and like seeing it, like the feeling of like being on stage in particular is just a feeling that like I love. Like I love being able to play music and have it like evoke something from the crowd. Like I loved the feeling that I was getting from them at the time, and to this day, like every time I ever go to a show, like I always love the feeling that like a musician evokes from the crowd when playing any kind of music. So it's like no matter what, I wanted to have that feeling too, and I always kind of like want to put myself in another person's shoes when it comes to doing something. Like every time I see something new, I always want to be a part of that something. So like that kind of drove me to become a musician in a sense.
I think the first time that I went to a concert that I like wanted to go to, that my parents weren't just bring me to, it was 2011, and it was the first show of the Honda Civic Tour, and the lineup was 1982
and My
My Chemical Romance and Manchester Orchestra.
Shit.
And that was like, I remember like that was like when I just kind of like really gotten into Blink. I actually have really goofy pictures of me somewhere from ago. I'm wearing a Blink shirt that's just way too big for me. It's like a smock, and I have like this stupid gray baseball hat that I'm wearing backwards. It's absolutely ridiculous.
That just sounds like normal 2010, like.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Without
It's
the
like
shadow of a doubt.
usually the most 2010 picture.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I saw probably a year after that, I saw MCR at Bamboozle Festival 2012. And I had originally gotten tickets to go to Bamboozle because Blink was the headline, but the drummer Travis. He had tonsillitis or something. He would get like a tonsillitis, and they dropped him off the bill.
Oh.
And I was so mad because like I hadn't even like listened to MCR at all at the time, and they took their place, and I was like, I want to see Blink. And then probably like that following summer, I hit my MCR phase, like full on. Then they broke up.
So
yeah,
I saw them twice without even knowing who really they were.
So did you try for tickets for the reunion tour or
for the what?
For the
reunion.
For the reunion?
I got two tickets. I got shit seats.
I got shit seats for
you were there?
for night one. Yeah, I got shit seats for night one in Jersey.
I thought you were talking about the Shrine show. I was like, you went?
No.
And you didn't say anything?
I wish.
Oh my god, sorry.
Yeah, for the new My Chemical. Actually,
I got tickets to Prudential Center. I'm hoping I can still go.
Yeah.
I ended up getting tickets for my my roommate actually. She had wanted to go for like the longest time, and like I finally was able to get them. I have yet to get them for myself, only because funds are not a thing for me at the moment.
I felt that, yeah.
You know, my paycheck, I get a weekly paycheck, but I'm not like I have to keep putting it off because I'm like, how much do I want to spend? Like,
yeah, and like you also have to wait for hopefully the prices to go down because they are insane. Yeah, resale is not good.
No, they're definitely taking advantage of the hardcore fans now. Oh yeah. I saw one for like $800, and it was like nosebleeds.
Yeah,
and I shed a tear.
It's not MCR though; it's Ticketmaster. We're gonna take these emos and we're just gonna bleed them dry.
Yeah, we're gonna bleed them dry.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
There's like no reason why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you could go to any show, past or present, which show would you go to? Like, it could be any show ever. Like, not one that you've already been to already. If you want to go back to that one, like...
There's a bunch of shows that I would have wanted to go to, like, in my past, and I guess, like, my future. I don't know. That's kind of a hard question, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't really,
I know
like, for me personally, it'd be Live Aid. I just have to, like...
Live Aid would Live Aid's definitely on my list. I'm, like, trying to think of, like, what particular, like...
Green Day, Blink-182, and Jimmy Eat World toured together in 2002. I would go back and see them. Yeah,
that's
I would
a good
go
lineup.
back and see them. And I would also go back to the Enter Shikari show that I saw in Philly back in September because that was amazing, and I got to hold up the singer who I'm like in love with.
Oh
so,
no! Did you really?
It was amazing. I touched my body. It was like, it was transcendent. And then
actually,
in like 2006, and then see Enter Shikari again, like back when they were just a local band. That's how they started. They were totally DIY.
Yeah.
That's totally just DIY band, and they're still like independent, which is just, like, that's just like another reason why they're just like that.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like a good show that I probably would have wanted to go back to because I really like their music. Last summer, the Pony played, and I went with my boyfriend and my boyfriend's brother, and the whole time, like, I was just, I was into it. I didn't really know a lot of the words, unfortunately, but Sean absolutely loved it, and I thought it was a lot of fun. And he, the whole time, like, was just like leaning down, like hugging me from behind, singing in my ear, and like knew all the words to all the songs. And then I crowd surfed a bunch of times, so that was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's cool.
And before then, I'd only crowd surfed like once before then, and it was at one of my own shows, actually, back when I was still in the band Ventress, which that was a lot of fun. But I had like crowd surfed 3 times that night, and I was like over the moon. I got like a good glimpse of Claudio and his freaking long ass like Maui fro of hair.
Yeah.
Another show that I probably would have wanted to go to.
Stamponi over the summer?
Huh?
That was the show at the Stamponi, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I was hanging out with Steve from Drive Kid that day, and we were walking because like I'm like a 10-minute walk from the Stamponi.
Oh, cool.
And we were listening to Coheed and Cambria soundcheck. We were just driving out eating tacos.
Nice.
Another show that I probably would have wanted to go to, or that I would have liked to have gotten a repeat of, was... Okay, so you guys are going to laugh at me, but there is this... there are these bands that I'm very interested in that... another thing that my boyfriend introduced me to, because he's introduced me to, like, a lot of, like, not like mainstream bands, like or like I guess more obscure-ish names. Like, forgive me if I'm like making myself sound elitist when I say that. But he introduced me to, and you guys are gonna laugh at the names, Ninja Sex Party and Tupperware Remix Party.
I have heard of the first one. Yeah.
I think
they are fantastic. Their music is really funny and really great. Like, they released a new song called I don't know what I'm talking about, and it's such a first date mood, like, oh my actual god. But their songs are like, they're all really fun, and Twerp, actually, TWRP, is a backup band for Ninja Sex Party, so like they kind of go hand in hand a lot of times. But TWRP had like a separate show where they did it in like this underground, it was like a it was like not like a basement, but like it was like an underground club venue, and this opener, Planet Booty, which again, the names, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But like the opener was so much fun. Like, they were like this trio of like very like jazzy kind of funk pop people who like had like a disco ball shaped like a butt, and it was the funniest thing. Like, just seeing them, and like being able to like for a minute the lead singer like looked at John, and like they connected for a brief moment in the song. They have called Take Off Your Pants, and it was so funny. Like, just literally and here's the funny thing about that song in particular is that that song is like, it's like a slow, like, it's like jazzy, and then all of a sudden it's like da da da, da take off your pants. I can't stop laughing. It was great. And then when Tupperware Remix Party played, Sung actually came in, Dr. Sung, the lead singer, who like wears like this cone on his head, he came into the crowd and like was like hugging a bunch of the fans. I got to hug him.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
He was sweaty, but I did not give a shit.
I feel it.
Yeah, I feel it.
It was like just the moment was so cool, and like because the venue was so small, like we were able to get like really close to the stage and like see them at like such a close like personal level, and like you know, seeing all of the equipment, and like seeing like the guys in like these like full like spandex suits and like masks and stuff, because Tupperware Remix Party has like this whole thing about their identity, like they, you know, like cover their face in like masks, and like, you know, one of them looked like they had like an Ant-Man mask on, one's got a freaking cone on his head, one looks like a lion, one's a robot, like the whole thing was like
so it's more extreme than Slipknot and like,
like that.
hiding their disguise.
Yeah.
So what are your top
very
three?
But like, it's very, their music is very like funk from the 80s. They're like, they brand themselves as like, we're from the future, but we're from the 80s, but we're from Canada, but we're from space.
Wow. Yeah. So what are your top 3 songs to perform live?
Top 3 songs, like our songs to play live?
Yeah.
For me, probably Rich Blood, Drown It Out, and we do this cover of Still Into You by Paramore. That's really fun to play.
Oh,
yeah.
For
a lot
me,
of fun.
That's what I really like to do.
Recently, when we actually played that song at it was like our last show before all the quarantine nonsense at the clubhouse in Tom's River. It was me, Nikki, and our brand new bassist Bethany.
I couldn't make it. Bethany was in the studio.
And we were playing the song. One of the members of the band Driving Underwater, who was at the show at that time, really gave us that. Are you seriously doing this right now? This is awesome! Cause they were I saw they had Paramore written on their shirt, and the second we started playing it, they gave us that oh my god, yes, expression, and then the entire crowd started singing along, and it was just a really fantastic moment. So definitely that one. I agree with Nick on all of those, and the cover of What's Up by Four Non Blondes that we kind of pull out of our ass every now and again, because it's such an easy song to play, first of all, and I let Nikki take over the vocals because she does such a good job with it, and it's such a fun, and it's cool because Nikki is also a singer, and she's really good at what she does, and we all kind of share in the vocal responsibility. I don't want to just be the only singer.
Yeah.
We Bethany's a trained singer too, so we can all do it. So I definitely, when we get into the studio, I definitely want to get some 4-way harmonies going.
Oh yeah, and especially because we may or may not, and I do say this as I'm not confirming this kind of a thing, but every the cover that I did. That I recorded as a solo, and the cover that we recorded, Little Saint Nick, they're all part of compilations by this guy who runs this record company called A Few Good Records. And he does these charity compilations. We may be recording a cover for their next charity compilation as a full band.
We are?
That may or may not. Well, yeah, no, I've mentioned it.
Who we are?
He's heard of it.
I gotta lay off the boat.
But there is a chance, and I'm not confirming this now because we don't know what's going to happen yet, but there is a chance that there may be a cover from us as a full band, 4 members, with a shitload of harmony. So, yeah.
That's exciting. That's really exciting. I'm looking forward to that. Definitely. If it happens.
If it happens, yeah.
It could be very cool if it happens. We don't know.
Definitely. Yeah. So what is your dream venue to play in? When you go to that venue, you're
Starland.
Starland?
Starland, surprisingly. And this is mostly just out of the fact that I've seen the Ones You Forgot play at Starland, and I'm
yes.
I want to get on that stage.
When did you see them play?
Not long ago, actually.
Yeah, because I saw them open for
January.
Yeah, I saw them open for Sleeping with Sirens.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yep.
Yeah, we actually interviewed them.
Yeah, not too long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really awesome. I love them to death. They're such great friends, and they're so they're part of the reason why I wanted to get the local bands in the first place. Them, and at the time when Chris from Highwind was in the band My Lonely Heart, because that was the first local band that I ever saw, and that really pushed me to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Gloria, I'm going to flip these questions. You're going to ask the first one, I'll ask the second one. So we do this thing where we get questions from the last band that we interviewed. And we didn't ask this to any of the other bands.
You're cutting out.
Oh, you are cutting out all of it.
Am I cutting out? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know
what's going on either. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
You're still cutting out.
In bursts.
If anything, I can ask them both.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay, so we do this thing, we get questions from the last band we interviewed. We haven't asked this one yet because none of them were from Jersey, and this is a very Jersey question.
Cut out.
I swear to fucking God.
Do you want me to just...
Yes, yeah, do it.
Okay. So we do this thing where we get questions from the last band we interviewed, and we actually have 2 questions because we didn't get to ask the last one to our last band, because they aren't from New Jersey, so they wouldn't really understand it. Yeah, so the question is, from Green Knuckle Material, pork roll or Taylor ham?
Oh gosh, both.
Okay. Taylor ham is the brand, pork roll is the meat. That's all.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
See, I didn't understand it because I live in Virginia, and Shane was like, "Oh, it's a New Jersey thing." I'm like, that doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm like, we can't ask it to.
The pork roll is the product. Taylor ham is the name of the product.
Pork roll is this meat that just tastes like saltier bacon.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's alright. It's not amazing. Good.
I grew up calling it Taylor ham, but I've kind of just like called it both for
Yeah.
like the
Some
past
people
couple
are,
years.
like-
So I'm like, I really don't
People
give
are
a shit.
like really crazy about like Taylor Ham, like they just like either just like about it as a product or the name or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel too strongly one way or the other about it.
Mhm.
I guess because I grew up in Central Jersey. I think Central Jersey is like
Yeah, we don't give a shit around here.
yeah, and that's why they all the Northerners and Southerners in New Jersey want to say that Central Jersey doesn't exist.
Uh-huh.
You like taking neutral stances on the Taylor Ham.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
don't live in
know
Central Jersey, but I relate.
Yeah. I'm gonna try again. Can you guys hear me? I'm not cutting
And
out.
cut out.
Yeah.
You cut out.
Swear to fucking God, I'm sitting it out.
Am I finishing this interview?
I think so.
All right. So
Oh, I'm so
our next
sad. Is it
question.
over already?
Oh no, we have a couple more questions, just a few more.
Okay, okay.
Um,
I really
so-
like this. This is
I don't got nothing to do.
I gotta eat dinner.
Oh,
I've
well.
never really done a podcast before, so this is like a really cool experience for me.
Yeah. So our next question from another band that we just interviewed, from Oolong. What is your favorite type of pizza / favorite pizza place, and why?
Lately, it's been Shiano's in Bayville. They make really fantastic pizza, and they are
Okay.
like 20 minutes away from where my boyfriend and I live right now.
Mhm.
I don't really have like a favorite type because really they're all my favorite.
Yeah, that's fair. I get
I
that.
do like meat lovers, and you guys are gonna hate me, but Hawaiian.
Bro, okay, well, I like pineapple on pizza. I don't like ham though, so I half agree with
I
you.
like the taste of like them both. I guess it's like
Mhm.
I mean I'm autistic. I have like very weird taste buds, so I can
Mhm.
kind of like the sweetness and the ham at the same time. Like
Yeah.
it's definitely like not like it's definitely not like conventional, but
Mhm.
I do like the taste
Mhm.
and I can just deal with like a regular cheese pizza any day, honestly.
For me, it's weird because pineapple and pizza just taste so different that the few times that I've tasted them together, they
Mhm.
just canceled out and I didn't taste anything.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like it was just kind of like it was more of a texture than it was a taste. I don't know, maybe it
Wow.
was just from a shitty place, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Maybe.
sauce pizza I like. It's I like a good margarita slice or I like mushrooms. I like mushrooms. on my
Yeah,
pizza.
margarita.
Mushrooms on
And
pizza.
There, I have this there's like this amazing old fashioned pizza place like down the street from me called Del Ponte's. Del Ponte in Bradley Beach, New Jersey. It's awesome. They do like wood oven pizza. It's like really good thin crust. It's like crunchy,
Oh,
but
thin crust.
it's
Damn, now I'm getting hungry.
It's like it's like always super fresh. It's like so good.
Yeah, thin crust is definitely superior. I do have to
Yeah.
say that.
It's just like the perfect bite of pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am gonna keep on
Let's try
trying. I'm gonna.
Alright, go
Can you
for it.
hear me? Am I cutting out?
You're
good right
Good,
now.
actually.
good right now.
Okay. Where do you see the band in the next 5 years?
Yay.
In the next 5 years,
I
releasing
don't
more
even see
music,
that fucking
definitely.
thing.
Okay.
Releasing more music, definitely. Playing more shows, you know, trying to get out as much material as possible, and just trying to. I mean, I guess I would love to get signed by someone, like maybe local-ish, like
Yeah.
maybe do like more like public release. 25/8PR is a really good
Affordable.
public campaign.
Mhm.
They are run by Hope Abronowitz of the band Vista, and she in particular is like amazing with like putting out like, you know, campaigns for people, and I would really
Yeah.
want to get like, you know, have my press done by her.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool because like we could really do with some really good press, and like I want to I guess I just want to do more and like be on the same level as like some of like the other bands that have gotten to that point, like Shallow Pools, Vista, like High Wind. You know, all of those guys have gotten to a good point in their career where like they can, you know, play these shows and like be well known by people and like have all like these releases and stuff. And I really want to get up to that level, and especially because like my old band Someday You'll Know Us actually just got to that level in regards to being able to like play like really big shows because they were gonna open for Attila at one point
Oh, shit.
before everything happened. And
Was that gonna be
you
at
know,
Starland?
They recently opened for they recently opened for Trapped, so I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, I don't like Trapped anymore, especially with everything that they've been saying lately.
Yeah.
But but I thought that was really cool, and
Yeah.
I want to get up to like the level of being able to open for like really big people. Like that would be really fucking awesome. Like if Nick and I like were told today that we were opening for Enter Shikari, I would die of happiness.
I would just shit myself and die.
Wow.
I would, that's just how it would happen. And for me, I'm not that I like don't. I'm just kind of like, for me, I just kind of want to do music for as long as I feasibly can. I'm kind of at this point in my life where I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like get a job with everything that's happening and like here or like in the very near future, but my goal is to kind of work in entertainment journalism, always like have my foot in the music industry, perform, and just kind of let like use the connections I make in both my band and my professional career, grow together and just kind of have them intertwine as much as I can. And I definitely just want to take Drive Kid and Love Rose as far as I can push it until I feel that like I've reached somewhat of like whatever. But I really don't know what I don't know how things are going to happen. But I'm just kind of here for the ride, and I just want to make some good music, and I want to play some shows with some good people.
Nobody knows what the future holds.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
More now than ever.
So,
was that one from Steven Universe?
I don't believe so, but it is
Sounds like
definitely
it
a
was.
line that I stand by because it's right. Like you never know what the future's gonna hold.
So for the last questions, we're actually gonna switch away from music. So I'm gonna start it off with: if you're on death row, what would your last meal be and why?
That's a load.
Oh, that is a hard question.
Drink as well.
Yeah.
Probably my boyfriend's homemade chicken. He makes
Ooh.
really good chicken breast, like veggies, and like a specific sauce, and it's just like so tasty, and he always makes it really good. But I guess just anything that he makes, because I'm biased, but he makes really good food. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I can have a similar answer. My dad is a really good cook, so if I was on death row, I'd probably want something cooked by him. He makes like a really good like beef stew with like pasta sort of thing. Like really good like teriyaki chicken and broccoli. Just, like, so he just makes so much. Like probably like most of whatever he cooks, maybe. And as for drinks, my last drink. If I'm like about to die, then only 2 drinks come to mind. One of them is something I had in a bar in London last year while I was studying abroad. It was a key lime pie cocktail. That was like this lime and like melon liqueur or something.
No, I don't drink anymore. Like in regards to alcohol, but I would love that.
But like it was crazy because like the glass was like rimmed with like cinnamon or something.
Wow.
And then it was like topped with like a toasted meringue thing. And, like you take a sip of it, and it's like all the flavor profiles of like a key lime pie. You get the filling, you get like the meringue, and you get like the crust. And it was it was so good. And so I'd either have that, and since I'm about to die, I would probably also not be too opposed to just downing like a tall glass of just pure liquid LSD. Because why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Like,
Why not, dude?
if they're strapping me into the chair, I'll drink anything.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as drinks
see what happens. It's like the whole forbidden snack thing. Like, if you're about to die anyway, then like, wouldn't you want to try any forbidden snack?
Yeah.
As far as drinks go, a root beer float. I don't know.
Root beer floats are good.
Yeah, they're good, and like I guess I just love sweet things. So
Feel that.
That was definitely the most wholesome answer we've gotten.
It was, yeah.
Like, without a doubt.
That makes me look like a piece of shit.
If you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
You cut out again.
Gloria,
cut
just
out.
ask the fucking question.
I got
Okay.
a question though. If,
Okay.
if it was a fictional place.
Yeah.
If I could live, if I could live anywhere
that
in
is
the world,
an easy
that would
one.
be the
Neverland.
Neverland? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we've
because
gotten that answer before.
Peter
Yeah,
Pan
yeah.
is like
We
one
have.
of my all-time favorite characters in like
Yeah.
the literal world. I fell in love with him when I was like 5. One,
Mhm.
because he has like a magical island. 2, he's immortal.
Mhm.
3, he can fly. 4,
Yeah.
he goes on adventures every day. 5, did I mention he can fly?
Yeah, you got a point. You got a point.
Wait, the question was like if I could like any like fictional place where
Yeah.
I want
For
to
a
live.
week.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. This is kind of drawing on like my childhood a little bit, but
Mhm.
when I was growing up, I really loved watching Codename Kids Next Door. You guys remember that show?
Yeah.
I would have like I used to like, fantasize about like having like one of those 6 tree houses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
those treehouse bases are fucking
like
lit.
that. I would be all over that. I would either want to live in that or I'd want to live in like Kodioko or something. Just go to like the virtual world and shit like that. That would be so sick.
Yeah.
I also love the digital world in Digimon, specifically in Digimon the 4th season, because I mean the kids got to turn into Digimon for once. Come on, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I really love
Like that's like the
cartoons.
worst season. But it's like I would want to fucking turn into a Digimon. Come on, who wouldn't?
Yeah. Definitely, definitely.
Like if you
So
had the
just-
ability to like turn into something like that could kick someone else's ass,
Mm-hmm.
come on, I would totally do it.
You got a point. Got a point. Do you want to ask the last one, Shane? Since I asked. Okay.
Fuck that.
Okay, so this is the last question, and it's probably the most important question we're going to ask you today.
Okay.
What is your favorite color? Be specific. Very
Yeah.
specific. Go down to the hex if you want to. Like,
For the longest time, my favorite 3 colors are
okay.
sky blue, lilac, and silver.
Ooh.
I really
that.
like
I like those.
I really like green and like various shades of green, like
Mm-hmm.
pretty much like I guess evergreen and like seafoam green.
Ooh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Particularly, and this is gonna sound sappy. Those are my girlfriend's favorite colors, so I really associate that with her. And I
Mhm.
associate her with
that a phone?
sensitivity. Yeah.
You know I had to do it to you.
The I lost my train of thought. Yeah, green. It because I'm gay for my girlfriend.
Yeah, that's valid. That's
Yeah.
valid.
I also really love, I guess just like purple in general. I also really love red and black. Like I love
Mhm.
like fun, like dark colors. Like
Mm-hmm.
the first 3 that I listed were like big colors that I loved when I was like a kid. I feel like my color love has evolved over the years.
Yeah.
And like I love like I guess just like the whole fucking rainbow, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Am I
You're
ending it off?
gonna make me try to sign off.
Actually, I have a question. Do we
Okay.
do we get to leave questions for like the next band you interview?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Alright. So
Can you put it in the
question I
chat?
wanna ask is
Oh yeah,
actually-
We'll take it in the chat after.
Yeah, we'll take
Okay,
it
yeah,
after.
that works.
After. Yeah, yeah.
Am I not cutting out, or can I talk now?
You can try, and
Okay.
if it doesn't work, I'll do it. Yeah.
Do you guys have anything you want to plug?
Well, we still have our first full band track, which is Little Saint Nick. It is on afewgoodrecords.bandcamp.com/track/Little Saint Nick. I have my own original music that's also on Bandcamp. That's Main Street Nights, my first EP. We have our Facebook page, Love Rose. We have Instagram, loverose_NJ. We have our Twitter, which is loverosenj. And as far as I can think of, that's all we pretty much got.
All right. Well then, that's all the questions we have. So thanks for sitting down with us. This is
Thank you for
Mary
having me.
and
Oh
Nick.
my god, you cut out again.
No.
I swear to fucking God.
Okay, so am I doing this then?
Yeah.
Okay, so this has been the Good Noise Podcast. Thanks for coming talking with us, Love Rose.
for having
It's been an
us.
honor.
having us.
Yeah, and that's it.
All right, awesome.